Hello students. In last video we discussed about the structure and function of our eye, human eye, which is an important sense organ for us. And in today's video we'll be talking about another important sense organ of our body, that is the ear. Ear, as you all know, is responsible for the sensation of sound. जो भी हमारे चारों तरफ आवाज़ होती है वो ईयर के थ्रू ही हमें सुनाई देती है और उसकी सेंसेशन जो है वो ईयर के थ्रू ही होती है, एज यू ऑल नो दिस. नाउ इफ वी लुक एट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द ईयर, द स्ट्रक्चर लुक्स लाइक दिस. I'm referring to your book, which is Shashi Jain, and you can open this topic there in your book also. So I decided to use a book for certain topics which are there in your books, which you can easily use. So structure and function of ear you'll find on page 111 in your Shashi Jain book, and then you can see a diagram. This is the ear which we can see from outside. So this is the outer ear which we can see from outside. जब बाहर से हमारा कान इस तरह से दिखाई देता है, लेकिन कान सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं है. ear is not only this much, but इसके जो other structures हैं, they are inside our body which we can't see from outside. बाहर से सिर्फ हमें ये फ्लैप जो है वो दिखाई देता है. देन दिस देयर इज अ कैनाल काइंड ऑफ अ ट्यूब काइंड ऑफ अ स्ट्रक्चर विच यू कैन सी. जो बाहर से हमें छेद दिखाई देता है कान का, वो इस तरीके से अंदर जाता है. इट्स अ ट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर. एंड देन देयर इज अ राउंड मेम्ब्रेन here behind this tubular structure, which is known as eardrum. And then ये छोटी छोटी जो हैं 2-3 बोन्स यहाँ पर दिखाई दे रही हैं. 1 2 3, ये 3 बोन्स दिखाई दे रही हैं. दे आर द ईयर ऑसिकल्स या ईयर बोन्स. देन देयर इज दिस बैग लाइक स्ट्रक्चर विच इज़ जैसे स्नेल का ऊपर का होता है पार्ट, उस तरीके का स्ट्रक्चर है. तो ये जो है दिस इज़ द इनर मोस्ट पार्ट ऑफ ईयर. सो दिस आउटर ईयर जो है वो यहाँ से, और ये कैनाल और ये ईयर ड्रम यहाँ तक आउटर ईयर. देन मिडल ईयर contains these 3 small bones, and then inner ear is having this bag like structure which has these semicircular canals and the snail like structure here. So roughly speaking, our ear looks like this from inside. Now we'll talk about its details. The structure of human ear is divided into 3 parts. One is external or outer ear, second is middle ear, and third is inner ear. Now we'll see external or outer ear किसको कहते हैं. It includes all that we can see from outside, even the opening and the thin membrane known as the eardrum. So this external ear is that part of the ear which we can see from outside. It can be further divided into 3 parts. 3 parts में इसको external ear को divide किया जा सकता है. First is this, जो हमें बाहर से दिखता है, जिसको हम कॉमन लैंग्वेज में ईयर जिसको कहते ही हैं. तो दैट इज द फर्स्ट पार्ट विच इज हियर नोन एज पिना. देन सेकेंड इज ईयर कैनाल. ईयर कैनाल इज दिस, जो ये होल से अंदर ट्यूबुलर स्ट्रक्चर होता है, दिस इज द ईयर कैनाल, और ऑडिटरी कैनाल भी हम इसको कहते हैं. देन थर्ड ईयर ड्रम, जो एक पतली membrane या झिल्ली लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होता है, जो विच इज़ नॉट वेरी विजिबल फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, बट वी ट्राई टू लुक एट deeply using some source of light or some lens kind of a structure. Then we can see this oval shaped membrane here. Okay, so that is the eardrum. So first we talk about the pinna, which is this outer part, flappy part जो हमें दिखाई देता है. All mammals consist of an ear flap called the pinna. So this is called pinna. It is wrinkled flap that lies on either side of the head. As we all know, we have 2 ears. All the mammals have 2 ears. Pinna serves to turn the sound waves bumping up toward the ear canal. What is the function of the pinna? This pinna, it directs the sound waves. It collects the sound waves from around us, and then it directs it into the auditory canal. Its another function is to protect the sensitive and delicate inner structures by preventing foreign bodies from entering the ear passage. One function is to gather sound waves from outside and direct it towards the auditory canal. And second function is to protect our sensitive and delicate inner structures from foreign bodies from entering the ear passage. So if there will be direct just hole, it will start from here, so anything can enter, but due to this there's a lot of protection which is provided to the inner delicate parts of the ear. Then you must have seen many animals who can move their pinna, but in human beings we can't move our pinna, and by moving the pinna, the animals, they can gather sound waves in a better manner from the direction of the sound waves coming towards them. Like they can turn their pinna towards the sound wave so that better hearing can be possible. So this is about pinna. Then second is ear canal. It is cylindrical in shape. This auditory canal or ear canal, cylindrical in shape, about 2.5 to 3 centimeter long and 7 millimeter in diameter. The measurement or the dimensions of this ear canal is generally this, and it opens on the outside. From here it is open. Its main function is to conduct the vibrations to the eardrum and acts as a protective device against the foreign bodies. Again, its main function is to channelize the sound waves towards the eardrum, which is this eardrum, this oval shaped window like structure which is covered by a thin membrane, and it simultaneously protects the ear from foreign bodies, as the passage of this auditory canal is such that foreign bodies like insects or dust particles or any foreign particle cannot enter the ear so easily. And it helps in controlling the temperature in the vicinity of the eardrum. At the same time, because air can enter from here, so it can control the temperature of the ear, of the internal parts of the ear at the same time. Then there is eardrum. This is known as tympanic membrane or eardrum. इसको कान का पर्दा भी कहा जाता है common language में. It is also known as the tympanic membrane. It's a thin membrane, pulls slightly inwards at the center and stretched across the inner end of the auditory canal and seals of the cavity of the middle ear. It is located here, and beyond this, then middle ear starts. So it seals this cavity. It is situated at the juncture of this outer ear, that is the auditory canal, and the middle ear. It's a structure which separates these two. Again, it acts as a protective device against the foreign bodies and helps in controlling the temperature. The eardrum vibrates in response to the pressure waves of the sound. What is the function of the eardrum? Eardrum, because it is covered by a thin membrane, it helps in generating vibrations. When the sound waves enter from here, they pass through this auditory canal and then they hit this eardrum. This eardrum starts vibrating, and this sends the vibration to the middle ear. Okay, so the external ear consists of the pinna, auditory canal, and this eardrum or tympanic membrane. Okay, I'm adjusting the focus of the camera. Yeah. Then the middle ear. The main function of the middle ear is to transmit the vibratory motions of the eardrum to the inner ear. So the main function of the middle ear is to transmit the vibratory motions of the eardrum to the inner ear. This is the middle ear consisting of these bony structures, and then there is a passage which is known as this is the middle ear, this part, and then there's a passage which is known as eustachian canal, which opens into the throat. So the eardrum closes of the ear of the air, it should be air filled cavity of the middle ear. The vibrations of the eardrum makes three little bones in the middle ear, that is the little bones which are there in the middle ear are known as hammer, anvil, and stirrup. So this is hammer, this is anvil, this, focus it here, this is hammer, this bone, then anvil, and then stapes, yes, stirrup. These are the bones which are known as the ear ossicles, which constitute the middle part of the ear. Little bones in the middle ear, anvil, stirrup, and hammer, to vibrate. Okay, when the vibrations of when the sound waves reach the eardrum, the eardrum vibrates because it is covered with a thin membrane in which vibration takes place, and that vibration is carried forward to the middle ear by these three small bones which are known as ear ossicles. Their names are hammer, anvil, and stirrup. The chain of these small bones is called the ossicles. A series of bones in the middle ear which convert changes in the sound pressure into mechanical movement. What do? They change the sound waves into mechanical movement. Okay, they convert the sound waves into mechanical movement. These bones are in turn connected to the oval window. Then these bones, they are connected with one more structure which is known as oval window, which is located here, this small structure, oval window, this structure, oval window. These bones are connected to this oval window. The flexible membrane that divides the middle ear from the inner ear. What is this oval window? It is a flexible membrane. Again, जैसे eardrum था या tympanic membrane थी, उसी तरीके की flexible membrane है, which divides the middle ear from the inner ear. From this oval window, the inner ear starts. The ossicles transmit the vibrations to the oval window. The middle ear serves to reduce the amplitude of the sound waves before sending them to internal ear, causing a remarkable increase in the pressure of the sound waves. Now this middle ear, which consists of these ear ossicles, it concentrates the sound waves so that we can hear better. So it reduces the amplitude, जिससे कि प्रेशर जो है वो इंक्रीज हो जाता है साउंड वेव्स का, या इंटेंसिटी जो है इंक्रीज हो जाती है. The middle ear is linked with the throat through the eustachian tube, as I had already shown you. The middle ear is linked with the throat through this eustachian tube. That is why if you put some ear drops, So sometimes you feel that something has come inside your throat. Or if you open your mouth, that will be a better example. If you open your mouth, you feel some kind of movement in your ear also. It is because of this eustachian tube. Just below the oval window, there lies another membrane called the round window. It helps to equalize the pressure in the inner ear when the stirrup hits against the oval window. So there is this oval window, and then round window. I'll show it here only. You can see the round window. There's one more small structure. I hope I'm able to show it to you. Small structure which is known as this small window like structure, again covered with a membrane. It is known as the round window, which helps to equalize the pressure in the inner ear when the stirrup hits against the oval window. So it maintains the pressure level in the inner ear when stirrup hits against the oval window. Stirrup might hit the oval window with little more pressure, but in order to reduce the pressure so that it doesn't damage the inner ear, which is most delicate part of the ear, this oval window helps in maintaining the required pressure. Then inner ear. The inner ear is divided into three parts: vestibule, cochlea, and semicircular canals. So this is inner ear. This bag-like structure, this orange structure, it constitutes the inner ear. So it has three parts again. These semicircular canals. These are these three canals, and then this middle part which is known as vestibule, and then this spiral structure which is known as cochlea. So it constitutes of these three parts. The vacant space surrounding these parts is filled with the fluid known as perilymph. The vestibule is filled with a fluid which is known as perilymph. Then second is cochlea, which is that snail like spiral part. It is spiral, fluid filled chamber in the inner ear. The whole bag of this inner ear is filled with the fluid, whether it is vestibule or cochlea, so or semicircular canal. This is known as perilymph, as we have already said. It is small tubular structure about 25 to 35 millimeter in length, resembling a snail shell, and for this reason it is called as cochlea. Snail shell is called as cochlea, so it is because of its shape, it is called cochlea. It contains three chambers or canal. The cochlear duct divides the cochlea into two chambers. The upper canal called the scala vestibuli and the lower canal called the scala tympani. It is somewhat like this. If we see the cross section of this cochlea, we'll see that it looks like this. There are three chambers. The middle is the cochlear canal or cochlear duct, and then scala vestibuli or vestibular canal, and then third is tympanic canal or scala tympani. So three ducts or chamber kind of structures are there inside this cochlea. It is inside the cochlear duct that the specialized sensory structures, nerve, and the supporting tissue for transducing vibrations to nerve impulses are found. So inside the cochlear duct, which is the middle part, middle chamber, there are special sensory structures, nerves, and supporting tissue, which is there to convert the sound vibrations to nerve impulse. Transduction, I had discussed in the very beginning. What is transduction? Transduction is the conversion of outside stimulus energy into nerve impulse. So these special structures are found here. In the cochlea, there are hair cells in the organ of corti which are connected to the auditory nerve fiber. In cochlea, there are hair cells, hairy structures with their base as cells. They are found in cochlea, which are known as organ of corti, which are connected to auditory nerve fibers. These organ of corti or the hair cells are connected to the auditory nerve fibers which form auditory nerve. Then hair cells are sensory receptors attached to the basilar membrane. There is a membrane called the basilar membrane which travels through whole of the inner ear to the cochlea and the vestibule part of it. On it are hair cells. Then hair cells are sensory receptors attached to basilar membrane. There is a membranous structure which is known as basilar membrane. The semicircular canals and the olfactory epithelium. So, this basilar membrane carries these the receptor cells for sound, and then semicircular canals and the olfactory epithelium also have these cells which are sensitive towards sound. Olfactory epithelium means inside of the whole this middle ear. Epithelium is the inner lining of an organ. So they have this hair cells or organ of corti which are sensitive for the sound. Like we talked about rods and cones in case of eye, here they are the hair cells or organ of corti which are responsible for the reception of sound ultimately. Basilar membrane runs like a long tongue through the cochlea. As I've told earlier, that basilar membrane is present throughout the cochlea, on which these organs of corti are found in a large number. It is a thin sheet of tissue in the cochlea to which hair cells are attached. So in case of eye, we had retina with the photosensitive cells, photoreceptors in the form of rods and cones. Then there were bipolar neurons, and then there were ganglion cells. Here in the ear, in case of ear, for the reception of sound, cochlea has organ of corti which are present on basilar membrane, which is found throughout the inner ear. Okay. Then there are semicircular canals. These are the semicircular canals, 3 in number. These are meant for the balance of the body rather than for hearing. They are part of inner ear containing fluid that moves when the body moves to control balance. Then these 3 semicircular canals are also present. They have less to do with the hearing and more to do with the balance of the body. What do they help in hearing is कि जब हमें कहीं से साउंड आती है, हमें कोई अच्छे से कुछ सुनना होता है और साउंड जो होती है बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होती, तो हम अपना कान उधर को हिला लेते हैं. तो इन दैट मूवमेंट द सेमी सर्कुलर कैनाल्स दे हेल्प अस, but at the same time when we are off balance, like, so they tell us and we correct our posture. So their main function of semicircular canals is to maintain the control of the body or balance of the body so that we don't fall due to our defective posture. And these semicircular canals are filled with, again, fluid which is perilymph, which is present in all these structures. It is present in vestibule, it is present in cochlea, and then semicircular canals. And when there is movement in this fluid, then the sensation of loss of balance is produced, which helps us to rectify our posture. So this is about the structure of ear, which you can go through yourself from your book, as I've referred to Shashi Jain for this, and you can see the diagram also. And in next video we'll talk about the function of the ear. So we'll finish the video here, and we'll talk about the function later. Or whatever we are discussing here, keep doing it at your own also, because you have the book already for this. Shashi Jain will be the book, as I've already told. So you can keep making notes also, you can keep studying also, so that when, if there is no video on those days, you can study at your own. Thank you.